I rebuilt the same engine twice, and both times the missing zinc destroyed the cam. Same block, same cam, same lifters, same clearances. I torqued every bolt to spec, checked every measurement twice the way my father taught me, ran the break-in procedure I'd been using since 1974. The engine went back in the truck, and 18 months later, it came back to me with the cam lobes wiped smooth as Riverstone. I thought I'd made a mistake, so I pulled it apart again, measured everything, found nothing wrong, rebuilt it a second time, same way, same parts, same oil. 12 months after that, the customer was back at my door. Same failure, different cam, same story. I had been turning wrenches for 22 years at that point. I did not make that mistake twice. It took me another 3 years and a phone call from an old machinist named Delbert Crow. He'd spent 30 years on the engine line at Flint before I understood what had actually happened, what had been quietly changed, and why nobody in the industry had said a word about it. This video is about ZDDP, zinc dialkyl-dithiophosphate, and why it was quietly removed from your motor oil. If you own a vehicle built before 1987, what I'm about to tell you matters more than anything else in this video. My name is Earl Kowalski. I worked the assembly line at Buick City from 1972 until the plant closed in 1999, and I ran my own shop for 17 years after that. I am not a YouTube mechanic. I am not an influencer. I am a man who has rebuilt more small block Chevrolets, Ford 351s, and Chrysler 440s than I can count. And I am telling you this because I wasted 2 rebuilds and a customer relationship before I learned something that should have been printed on the label of every quart of motor oil sold in America after 1994. It wasn't. Let me explain what ZDDP is, because they are never going to tell you, and if you own a vehicle built before 1987, this matters more than anything else in this video. ZDDP stands for zinc dialkyl-dithiophosphate. Don't worry about the name. What it does is simple. It forms a sacrificial wear film on metal surfaces under extreme pressure and heat. This is the science of tribology, the study of friction, wear, and lubrication between surfaces in contact. And ZDDP is one of the most effective extreme pressure, or EP, additives ever developed for internal combustion engines. When 2 pieces of hardened steel are pressed together, a camshaft lobe and a lifter, for example, the microscopic contact point between them reaches temperatures and pressures that no oil film alone can survive. The oil film breaks down, metal touches metal. ZDDP was the answer to that problem. When temperature spikes at the contact point, the zinc and phosphorus compounds react chemically with the metal surface and lay down a thin, hard protective layer. The cam lobe wipes against this sacrificial film. The film gets consumed, but the cam lobe stays intact. Valve spring pressure makes this even more critical than most people realize. A typical flat-tappet camshaft setup runs somewhere between 100 and 130 pounds of seat load on the spring. That force is constantly pressing the lifter face against the cam lobe. During break-in especially, when the surfaces haven't yet established their wear pattern, that pressure combined with the sliding friction is what creates the spike conditions that ZDDP exists to handle. Without sufficient zinc and phosphorus concentration, that contact point has nothing to protect it. This is not complicated chemistry. Engine oil has contained ZDDP since the 1940s. For 50 years, every mechanic in America assumed it was simply there. The way air is there, the way gravity is there. You didn't think about it. It was in the oil. The cam lasted. That was the deal. In 1994, they changed the deal. In 1994, the American Petroleum Institute updated the engine oil performance standard to API-SH. That sounds like a bureaucratic footnote. It was not a footnote. One of the changes embedded in API-SH and in every subsequent standard, SJ in 1997, SL in 2001, SM in 2004, SN in 2010, SP in 2020, was a systematic reduction in the allowable concentration of zinc and phosphorus in motor oil. The companion standard from the International Lubricant Standardization and Approval Committee, ILUC, LSACGF6, which runs alongside API SP for gasoline engine oils, carries the same low phosphorus restrictions. Before 1994, a typical quart of conventional engine oil contained roughly 1,200 to 1,500 parts per million of zinc and phosphorus. After API SL in 2001, the ceiling dropped to around 800 parts per million. In modern SP-rated oil, you are often looking at 600 to 800 parts per million depending on the formulation. 600 parts per million sounds like it is still plenty. For a flat-tappet camshaft, it is not. Here is the distinction the oil companies did not explain, and that nobody from Detroit went out of their way to clarify. By the mid-1980s, most new engine designs had already switched from flat-tappet lifters to roller lifters. A roller lifter rolls across the cam lobe instead of sliding across it. Rolling contact generates far less friction and heat at the interface. Roller lifters do not depend on ZDDP the way flat-tappet lifters do. Every modern engine in every new vehicle sold today uses roller lifters. Those engines run fine on SP-rated oil. They genuinely don't need 1,500 parts per million of zinc. But every small block Chevy built before 1987, every Ford 302 before the roller conversion, every Chrysler 318, 360, 383, 440, every Pontiac Oldsmobile AMC engine, every flat-tappet engine of the American muscle era, every one of them was designed and engineered around oil that contained at least 1,200 parts per million of zinc. The engineers who spec'd those clearances, those lifter materials, those cam lobe profiles, they assumed ZDDP would be there. It was always there, until it wasn't. Why did the API reduce ZDDP? They will tell you it was about catalytic converter protection, and that part is technically true. Phosphorus is a catalyst poison. It coats the platinum and palladium inside a catalytic converter and reduces its efficiency over time. The EPA had been pushing for lower phosphorus in motor oil for years as part of emissions compliance. The API cooperated. The oil companies reformulated. Nobody is lying about the chemistry. Phosphorus does poison catalysts. Lower phosphorus does extend catalyst life. The EPA's goal was cleaner exhaust, and they achieved part of it this way. But here is what they left out of the announcement. And there was no announcement. Not really. Just a quiet technical update to a specification that most drivers never knew existed. The engines that needed ZDDP protection were not the new engines. They were the old ones. The engines sitting in garages and driveways and barns across the country that people plan to drive for another 20 years. Those engines were not a priority. Those owners were not a constituency. The EPA's mandate was for new vehicles. Detroit's interest was in selling new vehicles. The API was responding to both. Nobody in that room was thinking about the man with a '69 Chevelle SS in his garage who changes his own oil and buys whatever is on sale at the parts store. That man did not get a memo. I want to be precise about which engines are affected because I have seen a lot of bad information circulating on this topic. If your engine uses hydraulic flat-tappet lifters or solid flat-tappet lifters, the kind that slide across the cam lobe, and it was built before approximately 1987, it needs ZDDP levels that modern oil does not provide. This includes virtually all American V8 engines from the 1950s through the mid-1980s, small block and big block Chevrolets, Ford FE and Windsor engines, Chrysler B and RB engines, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick V8s. It also includes most 4- and 6-cylinder engines of the same era. If your engine was built after the mid-1980s and uses roller lifters from the factory, you are running the engine the API intended when they reformulated the oil. You are fine. The critical window, the one most people miss, is engine break-in. Even a brand new flat-tappet camshaft in a freshly rebuilt engine is at extreme risk during the first 20 minutes of operation. That is when the cam lobes and lifters are establishing their wear pattern. That is when ZDDP protection is most critical. I have seen perfectly built engines, correct clearances, quality parts, proper procedure, come back with a wiped cam because the builder used modern oil during break-in. 20 minutes, that is all it takes. And nobody puts a warning label on the oil can. Here is what you do about it. The solution costs $6, sometimes $8. You can buy it at most auto parts stores and certainly online. It is a ZDDP additive concentrate. Driven Racing Oil makes one called ZDDP Plus. Comp Cams sells a break-in additive. Lucas Oil makes a ZDDP additive that is widely available, and there are several other reputable brands. One bottle treats one oil change. You add it to your crankcase along with your regular oil, and you have restored the zinc and phosphorus concentration to pre-1994 levels. That is it. That is the fix. For break-in specifically, use a dedicated break-in oil that is already formulated with high ZDDP levels. Driven BR30 and Brad Penn break-in oil, also sold as Penn Grade 1, are both commonly available. Valvoline Virar 1 racing oil is another option that carries higher zinc levels than standard passenger car oil and is easy to find at most parts stores. Some builders also apply a dedicated assembly lube, a moly-based or ZDDP-based paste, directly to the cam lobes and lifter faces before initial startup, which gives the surfaces a layer of protection in the critical first seconds before oil pressure fully establishes. That is a habit worth adopting. Run the break-in oil for the first 500 miles or the first heat cycle if it is a rebuilt engine, change it, and then continue with your ZDDP additive at every subsequent oil change. If you prefer not to deal with additives, there is another option, diesel-rated engine oil. Current API CK4 diesel oil is permitted to contain higher levels of zinc and phosphorus than gasoline-rated API SP oil because diesel engines do not use catalytic converters in the same configuration and the EPA allowances are different. Shell Rotella T4 and similar CK4 rated 15W40 or 10W30 oils will give a flat-tappet engine significantly more ZDDP protection than most modern gasoline-rated oils. This is not a perfect solution for every application. Viscosity and additive package compatibility matter. But for a driver who just wants to stop thinking about it, a quality diesel oil is a reasonable answer. The products exist. The information exists. It is just not on the label, not in the owner's manual, not something your dealer is going to mention when you bring the truck in for service. It never was. I still think about Delbert Crow. He was 73 years old when he called me, and he'd been out of the industry for years, and he started the conversation by saying, "Earl, I heard you've been having trouble with cam failures. Let me ask you something. What oil are you using?" He walked me through the whole thing in about 15 minutes. The API change, the ZDDP reduction, why it happened, what to do about it. He'd learned it from a metallurgist at GM who'd been tracking the failure data internally since 1996. I asked Delbert why nobody had said anything publicly. He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, who was going to say it? The oil companies had already reformulated. Detroit wanted you buying a new truck, not rebuilding the old one. The API issued a technical bulletin. That's all they were required to do. A technical bulletin, not a recall, not a campaign, not a single line on the back of an oil bottle. I have rebuilt engines for 50 years. I know the difference between a part that failed and a part that was failed. The cam lobes in that truck did not wear out. They were failed. Quietly, systematically, by a specification change made in a conference room by people who were never going to be the ones pulling the engine apart. $6. That is what it costs to undo what they did. Buy the bottle. Add it to your oil. Tell every man you know who is still driving something worth keeping. They changed the deal without telling you. This is how you change it back.